know you're hearing a lot today about recessions. Are we in a recession? Will we be in a recession? How do we know if we might have a recession? Well, we know how President Biden feels about it with his all-day full-court press to say no recession, and the economy's doing well. The real answer? It's complicated. We're going to clear that up with why unemployment's the key factor here. Plus, we're live tonight in Kentucky, where terrible flooding has killed at least 8 people, we're just learning, according to the governor, who's telling Lester Holt it's the state's worst flooding disaster of his lifetime. We're also in Washington, diving into that Senate spending bill we brought you as breaking news on this show 24 hours ago. And it's been a really busy 24 hours since then. With this bill to give big-time money to the climate, to drug pricing, and more. We've got a gut check on whether Democrats will actually stick together to get it passed. Plus, the Beehive, it is a buzz after Beyonce's 7th solo album leaked before it's supposed to be released at midnight. We've got the good, the bad, and the ugly reaction online as the Queen gets set to shake up the music biz again. Speaking of goats, by the way, we're saying goodbye to one of our own, the greatest of all time at NBC. One of them, our justice correspondent Pete Williams, is here for the backstory, a behind-the-scenes look on his remarkable 29 career at NBC News, one day before he officially retires. That's coming up later in the show. Hey, I'm Hallie, and here's a question for you tonight. Does it matter to you right now whether or not we've gotten to that technical definition of a recession? Like, does it affect your life, whether they call it a recession or not, when you look at your budget, when you look at your spending, when you look at your paycheck? That's the big kind of debate happening today after we got some new numbers showing that after a ton of growth in 2021, the U.S. economy is kind of in a slump right now, with estimates that the GDP is down nearly 1% from the past 3 months, the second drop in a row. So why is this happening? Well, this is what the Fed wants here. They want to slow down growth. They want to slow down demand and help it even out with supply. That's why we got those interest rate hikes yesterday. And President Biden's saying basically, even though, look, I get it, it's kind of weird to do things that way, this is how it's supposed to work.
There's going to be a lot of chatter today on Wall Street and among pundits about whether we are in a recession. But if you look at our job market, consumer spending, business investment, we see signs of economic progress in the second quarter as well.
Now, what the president's saying there is true. The economy really is complicated, and unemployment is a big reason for that. Normally, recessions mean more people are out of their jobs. That is not happening right now. The president's saying, and I quote, "That doesn't sound like a recession to me." To be clear, it's not up to him to decide. There's this nonpartisan group that typically defines a recession as 2 straight quarters in the red, and that's where we are. And maybe that group is looking at these unemployment numbers, which is why they're not pulling the trigger on the R word, recession. But there's this other reality that I know you know, which is costs are way higher than they usually are. Things are more expensive, and that's having a real impact on places like Arizona, where it's super hot, it's getting worse because of climate change, and forcing people into tough choices. Pay the rent or keep the air conditioner on. Here's what one mom, who's getting help from the community, told our Cal Perry.
That electricity bill skyrockets for me. It's like $100 is no longer good for those 2 months like during winter. Now it only covers maybe 20 days for $100, and that to me is a lot. You know, $100 for me goes a long way.
We're going to break this down with Jake Ward, our business and technology reporter, live for us in San Francisco. And Jake, the thing that I think is really important to get across here, it is complicated because a lot of what is slowing down the economy is from stuff outside the U.S. The war in Ukraine as it relates to oil, supply chain with China shutdowns. This is unprecedented territory.
It really is, Hallie, and I think you've done such a skillful job there trying to unpack just how complicated this stuff is. I mean, I think you talk to the people who study this stuff for a living, and they will tell you in private that, you know, it just doesn't make a lot of sense right now. We've never been in a situation before where we had these back-to-back quarters of shrinking economy accompanied by these, you know, unemployment numbers that would be the envy of past generations. If I talked to my grandmother, rest her soul, you know, about this kind of unemployment picture in which you could literally find a job on any street corner of America if you truly needed it right now, that's just a weird thing to put together with all this. And you combine that with a pandemic, which, you know, has entirely scrambled retailers' ability to predict what we would want. Who knew we were all going to buy sweatpants in these vast numbers and couches in these vast numbers? And now suddenly we'd have sweatpants and couches coming out of our ears, ones that retailers cannot sell. All of that coming together just means we really don't, I think, have the math, the sort of macroeconomic models to predict where all of this stuff is going. And that's the tough moment that we're all in, Hallie.
Interestingly, this Q2 GDP slump might not be hitting two of America's biggest companies all that hard. You have Amazon and Apple that are out with today's earnings reports, and they're actually doing better than expected.
Well, that's right. I mean, you're looking here at better than expected numbers, but you have to keep in mind, right, that everybody is sort of expecting some amount of disappointment, and we have seen quite a bit of disappointment in the tech sector. I mean, the tech sector, after all, is why the state I'm standing in, California, is the 5th largest economy in the world, ahead of India and behind Germany. It's been this just magical growth engine all this time, but you now have the people who watch this stuff very closely saying, watch out. For instance, Sequoia Capital, one of the biggest, most famous venture capital companies in the world, actually issued a memo back in 2008 that predicted the housing crisis. It was called RIP Good Times. Well, that same firm put out a study just back in May that actually said the same thing. It said, we are in real trouble right now. It was telling the CEOs of the companies that it invested in to tighten their belts, get ready for lean times. And here's the part that I thought was most disturbing about what they were predicting. They essentially said they thought that the financial and policy instruments available to the federal government had been exhausted. And so it's those sorts of attitudes within tech that may provide some sort of help in understanding where this stuff is going, even though it's all as incredibly complicated as you've made clear here.
You're in San Francisco. You're following how what's happening with the economy right now is affecting the housing market and how it is changing the landscape of some of the big cities in this country.
Well, yeah, I mean, the numbers that we look at here, we tend to talk about them sort of evening by evening and quarter by quarter, but they really are writing the history of America in many ways. There is, in fact, a finding that 20 of the most populous counties in the United States since 2019 have seen kids under 5 leave at a greater rate than anybody else. And that's because families with young children are moving out. They can't afford these cities anymore. Then you had the pandemic create the work from home phenomenon. You know, I think all of this is rewriting things. You're going to have a generational change that's going to result from some of the changes that we're seeing on a moment-by-moment basis, and where those exactly are going to go is for you and me to try to cover as part of our jobs, Hallie.
Jake Ward, live for us there in the Bay Area. Jake, thank you so much. So we talked about the climate a little bit, right? That's getting a huge boost from this surprise bill now, a huge breakthrough for Democrats, giving game-changing money to energy, clean energy, after a secret and now public deal that we talked about on this show last night is breaking news, breaking right as we were on the air, between Senators Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer. The majority leader is telling other Democrats today he wants to get this big old bill through the Senate before everybody heads out for their August recess, their summer break, basically, next Friday. And Senator Manchin, who, by the way, is recovering from COVID right now, says despite all the times it seemed like he didn't want to make a deal and talked about not really having a deal, he never walked away.
I just felt there was an opportunity here to really give us an energy policy with security that we need for our nation, but also driving down the prices, the high price of gasoline, driving down inflation was my #1 goal. I think that we've hit a balance. This is not a Democrat bill. This is not a Republican bill. This is an American bill.
Hallie is joining us on Capitol Hill. It is a big bill, right? To the point that Senator Manchin is making. He sees it as being able to try to help reduce inflation. There's an economic component. There's a climate component. There's a healthcare component, if you will. And it's really important to talk about how this is a lifeline to the president's agenda, but it will only get done as the president wants it to if all 50 Democrats hang together. Tonight, that's a question mark.
Yeah, Hallie, really this bill is a fraction of the wish list that President Biden has been talking about for really years now, since hitting the campaign trail. But this is an administration that really is grasping for something, anything to brag about ahead of the midterm elections, especially amid this looming recession, as you talked about in that previous segment. And so the provisions in this bill really cutting the deficit, cutting prescription drug costs, boosting funding for climate change. These are all things that President Biden and Democrats have been hoping for and are seeing as an accomplishment that they could tout on the campaign trail ahead of the November midterms.
There's a quick COVID component to this too, right? Because if they do want to get this done and get it voted on, they need all 50 Senate Democrats. One of our colleagues, Garrett Hake, used to say it like this: they need butts in seats, right? That is exactly what they need. Nobody out with COVID to get this done. And right now, they've got a few. Senator Dick Durbin, for example, just today we found out he tested positive.
That's right. They're going to need every single one of these butts in their seats, these Democratic senators that are some of them, most recently, as you said at the top there, Senator Dick Durbin announcing he's been diagnosed with COVID. And so this is becoming more and more of a numbers game. They need every single one of these senators not only present, but both voting in favor of this legislation, because this could come down to a tie-breaking vote with Vice President Kamala Harris. Another big question mark, Hallie, in addition to that COVID aspect there, is really where Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema is going to vote on this. She has had problems with past versions of this bill, some provisions in those, and she hasn't really signaled where she falls and how she's going to vote when this is eventually taken up for a vote. We tried to catch up with her, as well as really the whole Capitol Hill press corps today, and she, through a spokesperson, is saying that she's still working on reading this legislation, Hallie.
Really quick, Allie, there was some concern, I think, early in the day, and this just tells you how much happens over the span of 24 hours, that perhaps Republicans would be so upset about this Manchin-Schumer deal that in the House they would block this bill on semiconductors. That didn't happen. The so-called CHIPS Act on microchips is headed to the president's desk. That is a significant moment here, too.
A really big moment, and that's because, you know, hours after this deal was announced, we started to see the announcements that House Republican leadership was trying to whip Republicans as a no vote on the CHIPS bill, something that was seen as a bipartisan effort, Democrats and Republicans saying that this would be a great thing for this country. And so you saw today a total of 24 Republicans breaking with those denials of votes, siding with Republicans and supporting this legislation. A really monumental moment here on Capitol Hill, as you said, delivering another win, another accomplishment for the Biden administration as it heads now to his desk for signature.
Ali Rafa, thank you very much. China giving the president a clear warning today that those who play with fire will perish by it, after a call between President Biden and Xi Jinping. That's coming from the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. President Biden is saying he's trying to responsibly manage differences with China. This picture of him on that call was tweeted out a couple hours ago. And look, there's a lot of reasons for tensions right now. You've got the U.S. trying to compete more aggressively with China economically, with both economies seeing slowdowns because of the pandemic, because of supply chain issues, because of the war in Ukraine. And Ukraine is its own whole separate thing here. China really hasn't been willing to condemn Russia for that war that Putin has waged. And then there's the latest pressure point we've been talking about, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her still undecided visit to Taiwan, a potential trip to the self-ruling democracy of about 24 million people that Beijing claims as its territories. China is saying if Pelosi goes there, they would see that trip as a provocation. They're saying that forceful measures, as they put it, would follow. And the U.S. is not just brushing off that threat, especially because China has been doing more and more military activity around Taiwan. I want to bring in Carol Lee now. And Carol, I had a chance to speak with somebody who I know you know, and that's the White House National Security Council spokesperson, John Kirby. He says, listen, there's no decision on the trip. They're just giving Pelosi context on what the geopolitical realities would be. But it puts the president in an awkward position, I would imagine, on this call with Xi Jinping.
It sure does, Hallie. And what the president is put in the position to have to do is reiterate that his policy has not changed, that U.S. policy is still the same. And part of the reason why that's so tricky for President Biden is because 3 times since taking office, he's challenged that policy while speaking publicly and said things that have really rattled Beijing. And so there's a little bit of, the Chinese aren't quite sure if President Biden means what he says when he says that the U.S. his administration will abide by this long-term policy. But that's the position the president was in today, having to defend that and say, yes, he is. So I'll read you part of the White House's readout on that. They said on Taiwan, President Biden underscored that the United States policy has not changed and that the United States strongly opposes unilateral efforts to change the status quo or undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. So this is a White House that is trying to distance itself from this trip. We keep hearing, well, we don't know if it's going to happen. Yes, of course, we're offering advice. We always offer advice when the Speaker of the House goes overseas. Right. But there are real concerns inside the administration, and President Biden himself has put them out there publicly. Last week, he said that the military thinks that this is not a good idea at this time. So it's a very tricky kind of situation where you have a White House that doesn't want to come out and tell Nancy Pelosi what she should and shouldn't do publicly, but they don't think this is a great idea. And the Chinese are also signaling, as you said, that this is something that could have consequences.
So it's not just interesting here too, Carol, is it's not just President Biden who has a lot on the line here, right? So does Xi Jinping. You know, his zero COVID policy we've talked about has hit the Chinese economy pretty hard. You know, there are things that he would want to get out of a relationship with President Biden too that could help him back in China.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, one of those things that's been a real sticking point in this relationship is those tariffs, those that were put on by China by former President Trump. And we've seen the White House now more than 18 months in, still not having dealt with them. So, and the Chinese and the Americans have had discussions for many months, and there's still not a decision on what's going to happen there. And so that's something that came up in this conversation, according to administration officials, but there was nothing definitive that was decided. They do focus a lot on climate as something that the U.S. and China could cooperate on. That we've seen that in the past. In 2014, President Obama cut a climate deal with China, so it's not unheard of. And health security, that's something else that they talk about. And the other thing that they're saying is that, you know, they had this conversation. It's their fifth conversation. They hadn't spoken since March, and now their staff is going to talk about whether or not there's a face-to-face meeting. And you only do that if you're going to get somewhere.
Carol Lee, live for us there on the North Lawn. Carol, thank you. Good to see you. Let's talk about Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan now. Those two Americans imprisoned in Russia, the U.S. says wrongfully. And we now know from two sources that the U.S. is offering the so-called merchant of death, Victor Bout. But the Russians are not making any commitments. The Kremlin spokesperson saying today there are no agreements and that, quote, such info is not usually thrown to the media. I asked that to a top White House spokesperson not too long ago, along with how long it might take to get Griner and Whelan out. Is it weeks? Is it months? Is it longer, do you think?
In terms of actually securing their release?
Correct.
We don't know. And look, one of the reasons why we wanted to talk about this yesterday was because this is a proposal that actually has been on the table for a matter of weeks, and there hasn't been much movement, and we felt it was important to lay out the fact that we actually have put forth an offer.
Matt Bradley is following this for us live from London. Okay, Matt, read the tea leaves for us, right? With the statement from the Kremlin here, how we should interpret it, and what we're hearing from the families of these imprisoned Americans today.
Yeah, I mean, Hallie, I think it's pretty straightforward. It sounds like Dmitry Peskov was the spokesman for the Kremlin. He's pissed off at the White House, and the U.S. government is blowing up his spot. He's right that, you know, in diplomacy, this doesn't normally happen. You normally do these deals in a back room, and then you come out when you have an agreement. And to put the cart before the horse, as it were, is really just goes to show the amount of pressure that's on the White House. They want to be able to show that they're doing something, that they're taking action for this high-profile person, Brittany Griner, who's been detained in Russia now for nearly 6 months. But it also just goes to show some Kremlin frustration with what has been kind of the modus operandi for the White House ever since the beginning of the year. And we've been talking about this for months, you and I. This is interesting. The White House, the U.S. government, they have pursued this strategy of maximum transparency, of just throwing everything out there. You remember in the weeks before the actual war started, the White House, the State Department, the CIA, the Department of the Pentagon, all they were doing was just saying in increasingly almost scattershot style, describing what they thought was going to be an imminent Russian invasion. Now that really angered the Ukrainians. But it really just goes to show that this strategy that the White House and that the government has been pursuing since the beginning, it's something that it seems like they feel like they want to keep doing, which is just laying it all out, just being an open book. And that's really extraordinary, especially in cases like this, really sensitive trading of different prisoners.
You know families are hanging on every word here. I want to play what we heard today from Paul Whelan's brother, David. Watch.
Perhaps a little bit more hope. The difference, I think, really is that the offer is publicly known. So we know for sure that an offer has been made. We know that the U.S. has acted. They may have made offers in the past that weren't accepted. And so I'm cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic. I have to think of the families here, Matt, and centering their voices and them, because they're the ones who are living their lives without the person who's most important to them at this moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, David Whelan was kind of, and I hate to put it this way, immodestly, he was kind of backing up exactly what I just said, which was that the difference here is that this is now out in the public. And that is a really big difference. I mean, Paul Whelan has been in jail for several years, and now they're finally starting to talk in public about a prisoner exchange. Now, the Whelan family is probably not going to be so surprised because this was brought up in 2020. 2 years ago, they were talking about exchanging Victor Bout and another Russian criminal in U.S. custody for Paul Whelan. Now we're starting to see, because of the celebrity status of Brittany Griner, we're starting to see a lot more impetus behind this move, behind this prisoner exchange. The Whelan family, others, they must be on some level kind of pleased that Brittany Griner is in their corner, because that is really what's motivating a lot of this, the pressure, the public pressure coming to bear on the White House and pushing them to make a deal. Hallie?
Matt Bradley, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Right as we were walking into the studio here, we saw that our Hill team was catching up with this guy, former acting Trump Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, as Mulvaney was walking out of a closed-door deposition with the January 6th committee. He was asked if he'd been in contact with anybody from the White House in the months after the 2020 election. Watch.
I haven't talked to anybody in the White House in a long time. I don't remember the date specifically. So
during the period after the election,
again, I've not talked to anybody in the White House in a long time.
If you couldn't hear him, he said he hasn't talked to anybody at the White House in a long time. Mulvaney was the former president's chief of staff until early 2020. Mark Meadows took his place. And then Mulvaney became a special envoy to Northern Ireland. He resigned, by the way, from that position after the insurrection in the hours after the January 6th attack. It comes as there's other news from the January 6th committee and Chairman Benny Thompson, with the spokesperson confirming to NBC that the committee has a template now for sharing witnesses, transcripts, evidence with the Justice Department. This is a big deal, okay? Federal investigators have been trying to get this info for months as they've been looking into the push by former President Trump and others to overturn the legitimate results of the 2020 election. Scott Wong is joining us now. Okay, Scott, let me start with this new sort of formal agreement to share, if you will. It's a one-way sharing, right? It's from the Hill over to the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice is not ready to hand over its stuff to the Hill, but talk about the timing. Why now has this agreement been reached?
Well, Hallie, you're seeing the January 6th committee, which has been operating for now more than a year, start to wrap up its investigative part of this process, and they're shifting towards the writing of the report. And so these two organizations, the January 6th committee and DOJ, largely have the same mission. They want to hold people accountable who broke the law in the run-up to January 6th and during the Capitol riot itself. And so they are moving in the same direction. They have the same mission. There is cooperation. And so I think as the January 6th committee starts to wind down a little bit, you're really starting to see DOJ kick into high gear with these federal grand juries, bringing in people, going after people like Steve Bannon in terms of not of the contempt of Congress. Let's hear a little bit more from Benny Thompson himself about this process with DOJ.
The process, as we see it, is, you kind of tell us who you're interested in, and we'll make it available.
And so now the committee is shifting towards the writing of the report. But, Hallie, at the same time, we know that it seems every single day they're continuing to bring in new witnesses like Mick Mulvaney today, a number of other Trump officials, and continuing to sort of do this juggling act of writing the report while continuing to carry out the investigation and learning new material.
Hey, lightning round for you, Scott, because I got two quick questions for you. Number one, we're hearing reports that the committee is in negotiations to talk with other members, former members of Donald Trump's cabinet. Do we know anything about that?
Well, we already know that they did speak with the Labor Secretary, Eugene Scalia.
We've seen him.
We've seen him on video in depositions. We know that they are also seeking to speak with other key members of the Trump cabinet, specifically Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Stephen Mnuchin. These are people that were obviously very close to Trump, in Trump's orbit. We're in communication with all of those top officials. And so we will see if these individuals choose to cooperate or if they go down the path like Mark Meadows.
What about Mulvaney? Biggest thing we might get from him. What do you think?
It was interesting. We know Mulvaney from here on Capitol Hill. We used to cover him for years in the Freedom Caucus. You know, Mulvaney is interesting. He is somebody, we talked to Benny Thompson about Mulvaney. Benny Thompson says that Mulvaney is somebody that, you know, he understood how the Trump White House worked. He was the chief of staff for President Trump for a number of months. And so he's somebody that could speak to the sort of larger picture of what was happening in the Trump White House behind the scenes and in the run-up to January 6th.
Scott, thank you very much. Also in Washington, comedian Jon Stewart. I would say he was angry, but that would be severely understating. He was furious. He was livid after the Senate basically stopped movement on a vote on a bill that would expand health care coverage for veterans who have been affected by burn pits and other toxins during their service overseas. We're going to show you in a sec what Stewart said, but 25 Republican senators who voted for a different version of the bill, right, a version before, didn't support it this time because of like a financial thing. They object to how it changes the accounting for some of the spending here. Stewart told our Ali Vitale today why he's upset and not surprised. Listen.
I'm used to the lies, and I'm used to the deception, and I'm used to the cowardice, and I'm used to the hypocrisy. But what I am not used to is the casual cruelty.
They love to say they support the troops, but they don't support the troops. They support the war machine.
Republican Senator John Cornyn says he still thinks this burn pit bill will pass in some form or another, but we don't have timing for that. It hasn't been rescheduled. And as we've said, the Senate leaves for recess at the end of next week. We'll stay on it. Coming up, scary video showing the moments that a sheriff's deputy realizes he's overdosing after being exposed to fentanyl. We'll show you how he got help. Plus, former President Trump defending the controversial Saudi-backed tournament happening at his golf club this weekend. What he said to ESPN just today when asked about the 9/11 families protesting it after the break. In Kentucky, the governor there just told our Lester Holt that flooding has killed at least 8 people in that state. It's left some people stranded on the roofs of their homes, even hanging from trees. Governor Andy Beshear has declared a state of emergency, saying this is something that this area has never seen before. Take a look at your screen, however you're watching. This is drone video of houses just underwater, cars underwater. This is a spot that got something like 8 to 12 inches of rain overnight. The governor, Andy Beshear, says many more lives may have already been lost, but rescue crews haven't even been able to get to every call at this point. The National Guard is there. They're working to save as many people as they can, and locals are trying to help each other. Listen.
Everybody knows everybody around here. Everybody tries to help, but when this comes this fast, this ain't nothing you can do.
Maggie Vespa is joining us now. Maggie, tell us what it's like, what you're seeing, and what happens from here.
Hallie, it basically feels like pure chaos out here. I mean, you can see this kind of wreckage behind me. Just to give you some perspective on the strength of these floodwaters, this used to be a church, and now that church is off its foundation and in the trees back there. I mean, that's the strength that these floodwaters carried with them. And you think about that hitting homes, you think about it hitting cars, which have kind of been piled on top of each other like toys. And then you talk just about those rescue efforts. We've been talking to local officials throughout the day, and earlier this morning, kind of around 9 a.m. local time, they told us we have about 20 people missing. And the local official I talked to, he said, you know, hopefully as cell signals get restored, we'll find a lot of those people. I talked to him a few hours later, and someone in that same office, they said, not only have we not found everyone, but the reports of missing people has gone way up, way past 20. He said, we don't even know how many people are missing at this point. The governor, again, speaking to this chaos earlier today with 2 press conferences thus far. Take a listen to some more of what he said.
This event is devastating, and I do believe it will end up being one of the most significant, deadly floods that we have had in Kentucky in at least a very long time. It is an ongoing natural disaster. We are in the midst of it.
And as he said, the governor earlier giving that update to Lester Holt ahead of NBC Nightly News, saying now 8 people have passed away in this flood. State of emergency has been declared. The National Guard is here. FEMA is on the ground, but people are just beginning to wrap their minds around the damage here. Hallie.
What about people who have no power, people who have no water? I know you said the National Guard is just starting to get there, but this has got to be just incredibly difficult.
It's horrible, and it's really hot and muggy out here, as you probably expected. At its peak, the governor said 25,000 plus people just in Kentucky lost power that they know of. So you think about the damage that is sustained to homes and cars and everything. And then on top of that, you have no electricity. And maybe you had to flee your home in the first place. So it's just, as we said, mass chaos out here. A lot of people suffering in a myriad of ways. And just telling us, one woman said, as the rain was coming down, she said, I started praying that the rain would just stop. And then she said, finally, mid-morning, the rain finally stopped. But there is more slated for overnight. And everybody here is just really praying again that this doesn't get worse. Hallie.
Maggie, Vespa, thank you. Really appreciate you showing us what it's like, bringing us that scene on the ground. Let's get you over to the 5 things our team thinks you should know about tonight. Number 1, the Department of Health and Human Services says the U.S. has gotten another 780,000 or so doses of a 2-shot monkeypox vaccine. The vaccine rollout here has been a little bumpy so far. There's more demand than supply, which means there's a lot of lines in some places. The HHS secretary says there have been fewer than 5,000 reported cases in the U.S., and it's so far no decision yet on whether to declare this a public health emergency. Number 2, Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder testifying in front of a House committee today. This committee is investigating the NFL team's history of misconduct in the workplace. Because he's talking with them voluntarily, Snyder was not required to answer every question, but this is something the committee had long wanted to see. Number 3, we don't know who bought it, but a 76 million-year-old dinosaur skeleton sold for more than $6 million at auction today. The fossil is a Gorgosaurus. It was found in Montana. If you're like, what is a Gorgosaurus? Looks like a T-Rex to me. It's like a cousin or a relative. It's nearly 10 feet long, 22 feet tall. Hope you have room in your house for that one. Number 4, Sprite is getting rid of its green bottle. Why? It's not actually so green. After more than 60 years, it's getting a clear bottle because those are more sustainable, according to Coca-Cola, which is Sprite's parent company. The new design will roll out next week. Number 5, this sweet baby, sweet little 1,300-pound Freya, the walrus in Norway, just wants to take a little napo, and that's making her a star in Norway because she's taking a nap on boats. She's been going up and down the coast. She's getting on these boats. She's sometimes sinking them. Walruses are a protected species there. Officials say she's not dangerous unless you get too close or unless you're a boat. Just let her sleep, you know? Former President Trump today out at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, and he is responding to criticism from families of 9/11 victims over the fact that he's hosting this controversial Saudi-backed LIV golf tournament. Listen to what he told ESPN about the protests from 9/11 families just today. Watch.
Well, nobody's gotten to the bottom of 9/11, unfortunately, and they should have, as to the maniacs that did that horrible thing to our city, to our country, to the world. So nobody's really been there.
Well, setting aside even the 9/11 Commission, there were those FBI documents from 2016 that found Saudi hijackers allegedly received a lot of support from Saudi government officials. 15 of the 19 hijackers on 9/11 were Saudi nationals. And critics say Saudi Arabia is trying to sports wash now, try to improve its image, right, given the many human rights abuses that country has perpetrated. I talked with Brett Eagleson, president of 9/11 Justice. His dad died on 9/11. He is one of the people leading the charge against this tournament. He plans to protest at Bedminster tomorrow. And I asked him about what former President Trump said. Watch. I know you plan to protest tomorrow at Bedminster. What do you hope to see from that? Do you want the tournament to be canceled? What's the goal here?
Our number one goal is public education. Like, look, I mean, there are these golfers that are choosing to do this, and some of them try to get away and stick their head in the sand and pretend that they don't know about the Saudi atrocities. It's not just the golfers, it's all the vendors too. You know, I saw the other day that the chain smokers are doing a concert there today. I mean, shame on them for trying to act like for acting as if they have no idea what's going on. You know, every vendor, every golfer, everyone should be well aware of the Saudi atrocities that happen all over the world.
LIV Golf has said in a statement the families who lost loved ones on 9/11 have their deepest sympathy, and added they believe golf is a force for good, rather, around the world. Still to come, JetBlue and Spirit Airlines trying to link up. What their merger might mean for people who fly with them after the break. JetBlue and Spirit, two of the worst airlines of 2021, according to Wall Street Journal rankings. They are joining forces in what the tech website Gizmodo calls the deal nobody asked for. It's a $3.8 billion merger, and it would create the country's fifth biggest airline, ending a months-long bidding war for Spirit. It gets the budget airline that's been growing fast off the market. Spirit was going to combine with Frontier, but that fell through earlier this week. So now JetBlue executives are saying buying Spirit will help everybody grow faster. Their company, at least. They want to try to compete with American, with Delta, with United. CNBC's Leslie Joseph joins us now. And I feel like there is just really one question people want to know, which is, okay, what does it mean for my ticket prices? Are they going up? Is it going to be a hassle to get a seat on one of these flights from now on? Fill us in on what this means. Leslie has disappeared from the broadcast this evening. That's a magical trick. We're going to try to figure out where Leslie went, because, boy, is that a cliffhanger or what? We're going to find Leslie. We're going to bring her back. But in the meantime, we're going to hit another quick break and find her. We'll talk about that coming up in just a minute. Plus, why Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is going after a really popular drag brunch in Miami. Stay with us. I have some really incredible news to share with you all, and that is this. We have found Leslie Josephs from CNBC. She is back with us. And Leslie, before the tech gremlins attempted to sabotage our conversation, I was asking you about what is the Spirit and JetBlue merger? What does it mean for people who fly a lot? What do they need to know about ticket prices and about the flights?
Well, the first thing that they should know is that this isn't something that's going to happen immediately. The first hurdle that JetBlue has to deal with is getting this deal approved by the Department of Justice. And that's a process that's going to take years. JetBlue thinks that the deal is going to close maybe the first half of 2024. After that, it's going to take several more years for JetBlue to turn all of those Spirit Airlines planes, you know, the bright yellow planes we're all used to seeing or flying on with the small legroom, and pretty much that's it. Fees for everything else, you know, cabin baggage, et cetera, to switch those planes into JetBlue planes, which have seat back screens, more leg room, more amenities on board, free Wi-Fi, and things like that. So there will not be an immediate change. What will go away if the Justice Department signs off on this deal is Spirit's model, which is to charge a very low rock bottom fare and fees for everything else that you can add on that you could possibly think of. So that is something that's going to go away. The fares are not going to be what Spirit Airlines has been offering, and what even Frontier, which, you know, Spirit and Frontier had their own deal that JetBlue pretty much torpedoed, kind of swooped in with its own cash offer, won over Spirit shareholders, and Spirit shareholders said, you know, we're going with JetBlue, we're going to get paid. So it is a little bit of a different model, and that's something that consumers should be on the lookout for.
If you're American, or if you're United, or if you're Delta, are you nervous about this new competition, or not so much?
Well, JetBlue has been around for a while. You know, we're talking 22 years already. And they kind of came in with this really great customer-friendly product. You know, they were the first big major U.S. airline to put these seatback screens on and offer a lot of the things that some of the other major carriers were not. So fast forward to 22 years later where we are now, the point of this merger, according to JetBlue's CEO, is to compete with those big four airlines, United, Delta, Southwest, and American. Although JetBlue does have a partnership with American in the Northeast. So they want to kind of push the fares down, or they say they will be able to push the fares down in major markets where those airlines really dominate and offer low fares in the process. But the truth is that there are a lot of factors that are outside of airlines' control. Look at fuel prices. Look at the price of gasoline that we're still paying. That's something that's dictating fares. And if you've traveled this summer, you've seen those high fares.
Leslie Josephs from CNBC. We're so glad to be able to have that conversation with you. Thank you so much for your reporting.
My pleasure.
NBC News covers hundreds of stories every day. And because you couldn't possibly read or watch or listen to them all, our bureau teams have done it for you. This is what they tell us is going down in their regions in a segment we call The Local. From our Midwest Bureau, surveillance video from a Michigan jail shows the moments after a deputy was exposed to fentanyl. Forrest Bradley says the drug was on some of the clothes that one of the inmates was wearing, also got on another officer. He says he recognized he was having symptoms of an overdose. You can see him. Look at this. He's like making his way through the jail to try to get some help. They gave him and two other men Narcan. All of those men are doing okay now. From our Northeast Bureau, workers at a Trader Joe's in Massachusetts, now the first of the grocery chain's 500 stores, They are the first workers to unionize, I should say, at Trader Joe's. The store's out in Hadley, about 20 miles north of Springfield. They're making an independent union, kind of like what we're seeing at Starbucks and Amazon. No word yet if this is a movement spreading to other stores, but the union tells NBC they're looking forward to a contract that will benefit them. Trader Joe's, the company, has yet to issue a statement. From our Southeast Bureau, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is going after a Miami restaurant after a video showed kids at a drag brunch there. His administration filed a complaint against Our House, accusing it of disorderly conduct. The governor says kids being at the shows, quote, corrupts the public morals. He called the shows sexually explicit. It's a drag brunch. The restaurant says it hopes the governor will see this as all just a misunderstanding. Time now to get the backstory. Our behind-the-scenes look at how a story comes together and how it fits into our bigger picture. And tonight is a special one for you because it's a backstory, not on a story, but on a person, right? On a person who is going to be changing what our NBC family looks like starting next week. And that is because it's the story of Pete Williams, our justice correspondent, one of our fearless leaders here in the Washington Bureau, who tomorrow will enjoy, we hope, his very last day at NBC News before he sets off on his retirement. We thought, all right, what else can we do a backstory on tonight but Pete Williams, right? So to set it up, we wanted to give you a little sense of what his career has been like here at NBC. Watch. Pete Williams might hate this report. It doesn't really have any scoops. It's probably overwritten. So let's do the Pete thing and just get to it. Everything he's done over nearly 3 decades, 5 administrations, and approximately 465 trillion live shots. That's hyperbole, by the way. Pete hates that, too.
Pete Williams, NBC News at the Supreme Court.
He's covered the court and the Department of Justice for years. A super stressful beat. But if the guy sweats, you wouldn't know it. Watch how steady he is in 2000, reading through the court's decision on Florida's voting machines that decided that year's presidential election live on air.
If there is no room for a recount, this election is over for Vice President Al Gore. And that's effectively what you're saying.
I see nothing that in any way is incompatible with that, Tom.
It did take Pete a couple decades to get to the nightly news after starting off in the 70s in Casper, Wyoming, doing local TV and radio.
Pete Williams, K2 News.
In the 80s, he joined the office of then Wyoming Congressman Dick Cheney. And when Cheney became defense secretary under President George H.W. Bush, Pete headed to the Pentagon, too, as the spokesperson there.
Okay, let's see. Good afternoon. I do have a few announcements for you.
He shifted back to news, joining NBC in 1993. And by 2012, he'd hit legend status with this moment, getting the court's decision on the Affordable Care Act right.
The bottom line here is the Supreme Court has upheld the health care case.
That's after other outlets had incorrectly reported the opposite. The next year, Pete taught another master class in accuracy during the hunt for one of the Boston Marathon bombers.
Several law enforcement officials have confirmed for us now that he is alive. He is in custody. Unbelievable, as one said, who's been following this.
Even former President Obama noticed how good Pete was.
And that's what great journalism is. And that's what great journalists do. And that's why, for example, Pete Williams' new nickname around the NBC newsroom is Big Papi.
It's not like Pete needed a big finale, but he delivered anyway, breaking one last huge story when Justice Stephen Breyer retired a couple months ago.
He's made this decision within the past couple of weeks to step down.
Pete's had the kind of career that boils his competitors alive with envy. But the funny thing is, they like him. Everyone does. Because even more than what Pete's done is who he is. Kind and helpful and smart, intimidatingly smart, but he never makes a big thing about it. He's a gracious colleague and a gracious host. Legitimately hilarious, by the way, totally deadpan. To be roasted by Pete is a badge of honor. And sure, retirement means more time for his drum lessons and his trips to Jackson Hole. But there's a reason why our bosses always say, wait for Pete. Because, as the saying goes around here, in Pete we trust. I bet you do too. And that pretty much says it all. Pete is with us now, the day before his retirement. So, Pete, why are you doing this to us? It's very rude. If we apologize, will you stay longer?
Look how little I've changed over the years.
I dug the mustache. Pete with the stash was a nice look.
That was rocking that thing in the 70s when I was a local anchor in Casper, Wyoming. I guess I didn't want to look like Anchor Boy, and I thought it made me look older. It probably just made me look weirder, which is not easy.
It's back in vogue now, my friend. So maybe that's one of your retirement projects. What is it? Do you know? It's so rare, I think, sometimes, Pete. And maybe I shouldn't say that. You're at the top of your game, man. You know that, friend. And yet you're choosing to step away.
Yeah, I think it's time. You know, I'm 70 years old now, and I've been doing this for 29 years, and I have some other things I'd like to do in life, and I'd like to be able to get around a little while my legs still work. So this just seems like the right time to step away.
We've talked about some of the unbelievably huge things that you've covered, the consequential court cases, the huge sort of law enforcement stories. Is there something that is less obvious? Is there a smaller scale story that you've sort of cherished over the years, Pete?
You know, I've thought about that, and the one that always comes to mind, I think, is the one that you noted in there, and that's Bush v. Gore. And of course, I've gone back and reread that decision many times, and every time I read it, I think, wow, this is so easy to understand. When you're sitting in a chair indoors in good lighting, it was so blisteringly cold. That's not the right word. It was so chillingly cold that night. And, you know, we sort of stammered our way through to get the decision right. When Tom Brokaw was cutting away to others, I got on the phone and I called one of Al Gore's lawyers and I said, it's over, right? Am I reading this right? And he said, well, we think so, but the vice president doesn't. But, you know, it was the president wrote in his book, George W. Bush wrote that he was watching NBC that night and he thinks he's the first president who found out he was ever elected while lying in bed watching NBC.
Watching Pete Williams. That's amazing. It's so amazing. You know, we had sent, I think folks might know that we had a little, a small celebration of your career here at the Bureau. And there were some pictures posted about it. And somebody on Twitter wrote to me and said something like, even when I didn't like what Pete was saying, I trusted it. And I thought that really said so much, Pete, about the role that you have, not just inside our Bureau, where, as you know, we love you to pieces, but externally, too, to the public. They trust you. And I thought it was really striking, Pete, at a time when there is a lot of attention on objective journalism, right, at an increasingly sort of polarizing era. I wonder, how you navigate that or how you think about that, or if you do think about that.
Well, of course. I guess, I mean, number one, I'm fortunate in covering the Justice Department and the Supreme Court where, you know, every Supreme Court has two sides and sometimes more than that. And your job is to report them both. So I hope that it's never possible to know which side I think should win. And oftentimes I don't have a view about that. I think, wow, they both have good points. So that's, I think it's harder when you're covering politics as you do. For people to have that same sense just because of the nature of the beat. I guess I've been lucky in that sense.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're most looking forward to in your first week of retirement, or what you may miss most, besides obviously your primo office location next to Andrea Mitchell, the queen of the Bureau?
And you, and next to you too.
Well, I'm the mere jester, if you will, but yes.
Well, you know, what I'll miss is, of course, the people I work with. It's just a wonderful bunch. I think NBC has a great esprit de corps. People care very much about the news and getting it right, but they also care about each other, and that is just a wonderful thing to come to work to every day. I'm already overbooked in retirement.
Of course you are.
I have lots of little projects that I've lined up because I was so petrified that, you know, that I would suddenly think I'm worthless as soon as I stop coming to work. So I'm going to try to keep busy.
Pete Williams, I look forward to calling you at 9 o'clock on Monday morning just to check in, just to see how you're doing, you know, what stories we should have. Pete, we love you so much. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
This is very, very, very kind of you. I'm very grateful. You're very kind.
Enjoy your last day tomorrow, my friend.
Thank you.
See you upstairs.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to talk about Beyonce. How do I go from Pete Williams to Beyonce? I don't know. The greatest, I guess? Is that how we make that link? Whatever. We're talking about Beyonce's album. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And they work my nerves, that's why I cannot sleep at night. Motivation. I'm looking for a new foundation, yeah.
That's your little NBC News Now jam break with Queen Bee. She is back. Beyonce new album. It's called Renaissance. But oh, wait. Have you heard it already? You may have. Because even though her 7th solo studio album is supposed to be released tonight at midnight, it's leaked like a day and a half early. People are all over it, and some of her fans are losing their minds. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's been trending on Twitter all day. One tweet says COVID, monkeypox. Now Beyonce's album has leaked. When's it going to end? Another person says they want to call the cops on anybody who's leaking the music. I don't know that that's technically breaking the law, but people are certainly passionate about Beyonce. I want to bring in Jem Aswad, Deputy Music Editor at Variety. Jem, I'm so glad you're back with us. You reported Variety was able to find these really high-quality files online that sound just like the album in like mere minutes. There's some social media showing CD copies allegedly for sale already. This leak may be annoying, but it's kind of adding to the hype, isn't it?
You could say so. I've certainly gotten a lot of attention on Twitter for it myself. Not all of it pleasant, I would say.
Ooh, okay.
But what it looks like happened, it looks like it wasn't internal. It looks like unscrupulous retailers open boxes of CDs, because if you're going to have a CD or vinyl available when the album drops, you have to send it in advance. It looks like some of them open the boxes early. That used to happen all the time, and people uploaded the files and took pictures of the booklet. So I think that's what happened. I don't think it was anyone internally leaking it.
Her fans are super protective of her, and they're super protective of this leak at this point. Beyonce has so much muscle in the music industry. In 2013, when she dropped that album with No Warning, it basically broke the internet. This album is different. There's been a lot of promotion about it, but she is still a game changer in the music industry here.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, to be honest with you, it's not like Beyonce needs anybody to protect her, you know, but fans are very protective of her. And, you know, they were disappointed that it wasn't all going to happen at once. Having said that, I'll bet all of them, or an awful lot of them, immediately went to try to find the leak so they could listen to it. You know, if what I've heard is the album, and it certainly sounds like it is, it's great.
Tell us a little bit about the message here, because Beyonce has talked about this. Today, she was saying that she made this project, 3 acts, over 3 years in the pandemic, and that she wanted to create, she says, a safe space with no judgment.
I mean, okay, you know, I haven't analyzed the lyrics deeply. Most of the songs are about love, about relationships, about believing in yourself, about partying. There is one song that has a very, very strong message. I'm not going to quote this exactly, but the lyrics certainly sounded like it said, I just entered the country with a Derringer because these Karens are becoming terrorists. Not a whole lot of ambiguity there.
Well, I think folks will be waiting until midnight eagerly to find out more about it. Jem Aswad, thank you so much. Thank you for being back on the show. I appreciate it. That's a wrap for this hour. More for you here tomorrow. Of course, same time, same place. Coverage picks up right now.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.